Brad, this is about our monthly check-in that we've been able to do here in the off season. Here at the annual meetings, we just got word that overtime rules are changing in the playoffs. Both teams will get to possess the ball. So I've got to know, from your standpoint, what is your first reaction to that news?
Hey, look, we're in support of it. Obviously, I understand the different viewpoints from both sides. Some people, were like, okay, well, do you need the extra possession, or do you want more of a sudden death? I mean, all the viewpoints are valid and we justify it. But at the end of the day, what is best for the game, and from our standpoint, we're in favor of it. So, but we're excited. I'm all about evolving and in evolving processes, and so credit to the league that they're always staying open-minded to evolve things. And so to have that form and that platform to make an evolution, even with overtime, I think it's going to be cool.
I'm glad you mentioned evolving. I would love to know how you think the scouting department of the Detroit Lions has evolved from the first day the season ended up until now. We are now less than a month away from the draft.
Yeah, well, I always challenge our guys for process evolution, and just because scouting was done one way doesn't have to be done the same way all the time. So I always challenge just different changes and evolving our process, and they've done a heck of a job. Our air scouts have been hard at work, all over the country, getting not only the physical component right, but the talent component, but also the intangible component. And then, we have an outstanding over-the-top staff, with, a lot of our directors, our assistant GM, they've been doing an excellent job as well. So I think we're light years ahead of where we were last year, and it's a testament, it's a credit to them for sure.
A couple of free agents that you have recently signed that came in from the outside. You got Mike Hughes on defense, DJ Chark there on offense. Both one-year deals for those guys and for other free agents. What does it say to a free agent when it's just the 1 year?
Yeah, I think it's case by case with all of them. Some just want to truly just prove it to set themselves up for even a greater opportunity or a larger payday down the road. So I don't want to put it in a one umbrella that to speak for everyone, but it's good dialogue. We have our internal discussions, and sometimes we put the ball in their court, and sometimes say, hey, look, is this going to be a 1 year deal, or do you want to do a 2 year deal for that? And sometimes they take the 1 year deal, or there's some teams that say, some players that say, look, I want the 2 year deal. I want that security. So, I think it's case by case. Either way, we just got to make sure that they're put in the best position to succeed. And we are going to do that. And we want them to be productive players for us.
Mm-hmm. There, of course, have been some notable signings or re-signings here in free agency. But you talked about it earlier with the local Detroit media that just a 3-win season and not a whole lot of external help coming in.
Yeah.
You said it's because of some optimism. So what is that picture of optimism you're painting?
Well, first of all, it's a testament to everybody in our building. I think it's a testament of the culture that we have in place. And for one, those players that wanted to come back again, those players, they are UFAs, they're RFAs for the entire league. So, they have an opportunity to go other places. And, you get in some bidding wars, so to speak, but at the end of the day, I think we had a little bit of a leg up just because of our culture that we had in place. And then the other thing is that, hey, look, they had productive years. So, if the player was unproductive for us, that wasn't. And we stacked those players up for the rest of the league too. So we don't just look at, like, let's say Tracy Walker. We don't just say, well, we know Tracy Walker, so he's the number one priority. No, we stack Tracy Walker up versus all the other UFAs and RFAs and all that, and kind of see where he ranks. So we're very thorough in that approach, and we just don't want to have tunnel vision just because of who we're comfortable with and what we know. But so credit our culture that we have in our building, but also credit the players. They had productive seasons.
I've spoke to a handful of analysts here in Palm Beach. Before we got to Palm Beach, quite literally, no one knows what the Lions are going to do with that number 2 overall pick. I would love to have you help me build my mock draft. So first off, for that number 2 overall pick, what is the most important on-field attribute I'm looking for in a prospect?
Well, we just want to be a game changer. That's really it. That's the bad. I said that a long time ago when we first knew we had that pick. It says, look, where it's going to be, this you just want to be a game changer, and that game changer is going to be at multiple positions. Again, you talked about as ahead as we are in the process, and we're at a point now where look, if we had to turn in that number 2 overall pick and decide, we could do that now, and we'd sleep good at night. So again, credit to our staff, but we just want a game changer.
Okay, you jumped to my third question. So I should listen to teams if they're coming up trying to get that number 2 overall pick, and I can trade back for some future prospects.
Yeah, and you know what? I think each draft is different. So there's just a lot of things you have to weigh. So, do you want to trade back, and how far do you want to trade back? And if you do trade back, then what is the range of players that you're really looking at? And those are discussions that we're still having. Again, I keep saying we're so far ahead in our process, and we have had those discussions already, but I can't say that we're dead set of knowing, like, okay, this will be what we're looking at, because you just don't know how far. You've seen teams trade back from deep in the 20s all the way up. Back when I was in 2016 with the Rams, we were sitting back there about midway point. We jumped all the way up to 1. You just don't know where it's going to come from, but you got to be prepared for all of it.
Okay, what is my deadline to have my top 2 prospects written down on a piece of paper, ready to go for draft night?
Well, it should have been yesterday, because I said that we could turn it in today. But no, seriously. Look. Again, we're ready. We're ready. We're prepared. Again, there's still some pro days left to go to. That I'll be heading out to. But I've always said, a pro day doesn't define a player. So you can dot some I's and cross some T's. But it's a fluid process. We don't ignore new data that comes about. So, but we'll make the right choice.
Okay. Last but not least, it was announced Hard Knocks is coming to Allen Park. You were with the Rams when Hard Knocks visited them in Los Angeles. What is your best piece of advice, not only for the players, but the other staff here that will have some flies on the wall here in Allen Park for training camp?
Well, look, best piece of advice I say is just, I don't know, as much as they say, if Hard Knocks is a distraction, could be, I say just stay out of the way, I guess. That's really the only thing I can say. But I do think, I was just saying with our local media that, kind of doing it twice, with the Rams, I did see kind of an evolution from what their operation is and how they set things up. And I think that they're aware of that narrative, and I think they do a really good job. But I think it's going to be great for our fans. It's going to be great for the game, and I'm excited for all of our staff, with the Lions, to get a chance to experience it. It's a cool experience.